Hello guys, welcome again to another exciting tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be seeing on how to create an Audi R8 in 3ds Max. So here you can see that I have collected reference images of the car in many directions, and you can see that there are about roughly 200 images over here. uh, I have downloaded all these images from the internet. You can see that there's also side view and top view of the car over here, but I'm not going to use this as a blueprint because I've already got blueprints over here separated out. You can see back, front, side and top blueprints. So one thumb rule in creating blueprints is that the back image and the front image must have the same dimensions. You can see that back has 753 by 446, I'm sorry, 466, and the front also has the same resolution. And similarly, the front and the side images must also have the same resolution on the y-axis. So you can see that this has a dimension of 466 over here, and the side view has a dimension of 466, and side view and top view must have the x-axis same. So you can see that they are both the same, and the top view y-axis and the back view x-axis must be the same. This ensures that you don't have to do any scaling inside 3ds Max. After splitting out these images like this, let's now go into 3ds Max, and I'm going to show you how to import blueprints into 3ds Max, because there are many ways you can import blueprints. One is to set as viewport background, but I'm not going to use that because my computer causes some bugs when I use viewport backgrounds. So instead we'll follow this method. What I'm going to do is, let's go ahead and create a plane, and let's first create the top view plane. So you can see that I have a dimension of 1644 by 753. Divide both by 10 and pump that value inside the length and width. So I'm going to put 164.4 and 75.3. You can see that we have got the top blueprint over here, and let's rotate it a bit. (90°). And next let's create the side plane. So let's go ahead and create another plane in this view, and let's put a length of again 164.4, 164.4, and width of 46.6, and I want to rotate it. Let me switch on the snaps toggle, and position it approximately over here. And next let's create the front and back planes. So let's go to the create panel and create another plane, and pump in the length as 75.3 and 46.6, and again I want it to be rotated at 90°, and I want this to be positioned roughly over here, and let's switch on snaps toggle and bring both the planes over to the grid line so that they align with each other, and let's push this over here, and let's also align both these planes to the grid line. I think I have both of them aligned. You can see that the plane starts from here and this plane also starts from here, so we have got everything aligned now. Now let's move this back and move this blueprint a little bit down, and that's better, I think. Now to bring in the blueprints into 3ds Max, what we've got to do is let's bring in the material editor and let's assign some materials to this planes like that, and let's go to the diffuse section and apply a bitmap, and let's apply the front view over there, and let's enable this show map in viewport, and you can see that the image is rotated, so let's give a value of 90 degrees, I'm sorry, minus 90 degrees, and now you can see that that has come out nicely. And let's do the same for this. Let's go to the diffuse, select a bitmap, and choose the top blueprint, and again you can see that this is rotated about 90 degrees, so pump in a value of 90, I'm sorry, 90, and again let's go to this map and connect a bitmap, and this time let's put the side image, rotate it 90 degrees, let's try minus 90, and that's better. So you can see that the images are slightly pixelated, so what we can do for correcting that is let's go to options, or let's go to options, and I'm sorry, let's go to material and select show material in viewport as hardware display, and I think it should come out. And you can see that the images are over there. You can see that they are slightly more high quality, but you have to sacrifice this high quality with the frame rate, but I think the frame rate difference is not that much, so let's leave it just like that. And now let's start the modeling session. So let's go into the, let's also enable smooth plus highlights in all the 3 views so that we can see the image planes in all the views. And now what we can do is let's go to the side view and start modeling the car from the front fender. So let's create a tube, and with this place as center, let's drag the circle out and then a little bit inside and click over there, and also let's add some depth to the plane. Next thing what we can do is let's go to the, let's first align this plane a much more better, and one more thing what we can do is let's freeze all these planes so that I don't accidentally select those planes. Let's go to the freeze tab and let's select freeze selected, Before that, I want to uncheck this show frozen in gray, so that we can see the images although the planes have been frozen. And now you can see that I can't select the image planes. So now what we can do is, let's align this circle a bit more correctly, and let's play with the radius a bit, and I think that is better. So now let's convert this to an editable poly, and let's go to the polygon mode and delete this side of the face because we don't want them. And also let's select this, and I want to bring this over to this position. Before that, let's center the pivot, and let's pull this right over here. Next thing, let's go to the polygon mode and delete some unwanted faces like this, and let's now switch over to the vertex mode and tweak these vertices just a wee bit so that they align a bit more correctly. And let's make some tweakings over here like that. So that's better now. And next, what we can do is, let's select some of the edges over here. Let's select these 3 edges. Before that, let's move this vertex out just a bit like that. And now let's select these 4 edges, and let's go ahead extruding. Let's make one extrusion right over here, and another in the middle of this air hole, and another extrusion at the end of the air hole, and let's make another extrusion right over here, and one more till the center. Now let's go to the vertex mode and select these vertices and make them planar along the let's see, X direction. I'm sorry, let's try Z. Okay, so it's Z. And now you can see in the perspective view that we have got a nice front bumpers. One more thing what I would like to do is, let's select these vertices and switch over to the local mode. Let's switch over to the local mode and bring these just a bit outside so that it gives a little more curvature over there. Not too much, just a bit like that. So next thing what we can do is, let's go to the front view, and we can also switch over to the working mode and push these vertices a little bit more. I think that's better. Let's activate see-through mode so that we can see the background planes clearly, and let's now go into the vertex mode, and I think you don't need these set of faces right now. So let's go ahead and delete them, and let's go to the edge mode, and let's select these edges. Let's select those edges, and let's extrude them a little bit outside, like that. And from here, I'm sorry, I think you need those faces. So let's go to the edge mode and select these faces right over here. I'm thinking of making some vertices to support the crease over here. So what we can do is, let's go to the vertex mode, and I think we can select these vertices and switch over to the local mode, and rotate it just a bit, like that. And let's also do the same for these set of vertices. And let's move it to the side, and also let's bring it outside, or let's move it inside just a bit. And let's go ahead and bring some of these vertices outside, so that they don't form some creases over there. And I also want this vertex, let's leave it over there, and let's bring this vertex up a little bit, and let's bring this vertex, let's switch over to the working mode, and let's bring it out, and do the same for this vertex. We don't want any sharp edges poking out. I think that looks better for now, except this place. Let's bring this vertex also a little bit outside, along with this vertex. So that's nice. Let's tweak some of these vertices. I think that's fine. Let's see how that appears in the shaded view. So I think that doesn't make much of a difference. So let's switch on the see-through mode, and switch over to the vertex mode, and let's flatten these vertices out. And I also want to bring this vertex slightly over to the side, and I think that's looking better. Now let's go to the edge mode, and before that let's also flatten some of these vertices out, and let's go to the edge mode, select both of these edges, and let's extrude them outside. Before that, let me make some tweakings to these vertices so that they align a bit more correctly, because right now they are not well aligned. So let's bring those outside like that, and I think that looks better. Okay, so let's now go to the edge mode, select these two edges, and go ahead extruding them with some subdivisions to hold that curvature right over there, and that looks better. Now let's go to the vertex mode, making some tweakings. Let's bring these vertices right over here, and that looks better, I think. Now let's also align them in the side view. And that's looking great. Now let's check out how that appears without the see-through mode. You can see that's great for beginning. So now what we can do is let's go to the edge mode and select all these edges over here. Before coming to these edges, you can see that I haven't done anything in the top view. I'm sorry, front view. So let's go ahead and make just a bit of tweakings over there. Just bring that out, and let's move these vertices slightly inside. That appears better. And now let's now go to the edges over here, and let's bring them outside just a bit like that. Let's switch off the local mode, and let's bring it right over there, and using just the scale tool, let's bring the this vertex right over here, because we don't want to use the move tool because it causes distortion over here. So I'm just using the scale tool, and let's bring this down just a bit, and then give it a bit more curvature. So you can see that we have got the vertex in the right place. Just a bit more inside, like that. And now let's go to the vertex mode and build some of the vertices over here. Let's increase the threshold. That's better. And next thing, let's come over here and make some tweakings to the vertices over here. And let's also activate the see-through mode. And I think we can go to the vertex mode and bring this vertex just a little bit up, or let's move it to the side over here so that there's a bit of curvature right over there. And you can see that in the top view these vertices have not been aligned, so let's go ahead and pull these vertices to the right positions like this, and like this. So that looks better, I think. And now let's position this vertex over here, or instead of using the world mode, let's switch over to the local mode, so that gives us a bit more control over the surface. And let's pull that vertex right over here, and also let's do the same thing for this vertex. Let's pull all these vertices to their respective positions, and I also want to push this vertex inside just a bit and pull this vertex out just a bit. I think that looks better. And let's pull this vertex right over here. And I'm just tweaking those vertices till I am satisfied with the overall shape of the front bumpers. One more thing, what I would like to do is let's select this vertex over here, and I would want to push this vertex right over here, and also do the same for this vertex. Bring it over to this position, and do the same for this vertex. Let's switch over to the world mode now. And let's pull this vertex slightly inside. That's looking better, I think. Now what we can do is let's go again to the local mode, and tweak these vertices so that these points lie approximately over here. I'm sorry. let's switch over to the side view, and now let's move these vertices inside a little bit, like that, and do the same for this vertex. Let's switch over to the working mode first, and let's position it approximately over here, and also I want this vertex placed over here, so that looks better now. Let's apply a planar on this sorry, in the y direction, and let's make some moves like that, and bring this down just a bit. I'm just tweaking this part of the car. uh, Most of my time is spent in tweaking, because I want the shape to come out right. So next up what we can do is let's go to the edge mode, and let's go ahead, and I think we can make another extrusion. Before that, you can see that this edge over here, well, let's leave it just like that, and let's select some of the edges right over here, and I think I've selected the right edges. Now what we can do is you can see that some of the vertices over here have gone too far to the top, so let's bring them down just a bit. And I also want to position this vertex right over here. That looks better, I think. And let's go to the edge mode now, and continue with the extrusion. Let's select these edges right over here, and let's bring them let us just bring them slightly to the top, or instead go to the scale mode, just bring it inside just a bit, like that, till here, and surely we want to rotate it so that it aligns with this piece, like that. And now let's go to the vertex mode, and let's seal these vertices. Let's select these two vertices and weld them together. I want to increase the threshold. Instead of using a normal weld, let's use target weld, so that this vertex gets merged with this vertex over here, and let's see how we can merge some of these vertices. Let's bring this vertex right over here, and let's use target weld, welding it like that. Let's weld I think there are not many subdivisions over here for us to join some of these vertices. So let's just make some approximate placements, and let's see how we can join some of the vertices over here. So you can see that there is one line, edge coming over here. So I think you can move this edge right over here and accordingly move this vertex to the side. I don't want it to go to the side too much, just a bit like that. And also there's one edge loop over here, so you've got to add one more edge loop. So what I'm going to do is, let's go to the ring mode and connect it, and again you need another edge loop over here. So let's select this edge, switch on the ring mode and connect. Let's slide it just a bit like that and apply that. And now let's go ahead and do some merging. Let's turn on the edged faces so that I can see the position of the vertices more clearly. And surely after you add these vertices, you want to bring it out just a bit so that the curvature remains as it is. And I think that's better now. Let's go to the target weld mode, and also let's switch over to the vertices mode and apply some welding like that and like that. And you need an edge loop right over here. So let's go to the edge mode and select this edge, add a ring selection and connect it, bring the slide down to 0, and each time you add some vertices in this curved areas, you must go ahead and add this type of curvature. The vertices must be curved a little bit so that the shape of the front fender does not get altered. So right now I'm doing just that, just adding some bit of curvature like that, and that looks pretty good. Now we can go ahead and target weld these two vertices like that. And next thing, let's go ahead and I'm just having some bad cold, so excuse me for my voice. Next thing what we can do is okay, let's add a edge loop right over here. Let's add a ring selection and connect it, and now let's go to the target weld mode and weld this vertex with this vertex like that. And I also want to bring this vertex slightly inside so that it doesn't appear poking outside, just a wee bit inside like that, and that looks far more better. Now let's come to this area. I'm just selecting these vertices and let's bring them inside just a bit like that. Let's deselect all these vertices over here, and again we need to bring these vertices inside. As you can see over here that as I have moved the vertices, there are some issues over here which I am correcting right now, just moving them so that it matches with the topology of the car. And just bring this outside just a bit. And also I think we can move this vertex right over here so that we get that shape of the light. And I think you need an extra vertex right over here to support so what we can do is let's let us move this edge, I'm sorry, vertex right over here, or let's undo that and let's move this vertex right over here. And before adding some edge loops over here, I think we can let's move this vertex to its correct position, that is over here. And let's also push this vertex just a bit inside like that, and bring this vertex a wee bit out. Let's switch over to the working mode, push this vertex down, and let's start aligning these vertices in the local mode. Let us move this up just a bit, and I want this vertex to be placed somewhere over here, and correspondingly let's move this vertex to the side. Switch over to the working mode, and I think that looks far better. Now let's go to the polygon mode, selecting some polygons. Let's select these polygons. Before that, let's add an edge loop. I'm still not satisfied with the overall shape of my car, so I'm just tweaking it till I am satisfied. And I think I also want an edge loop right over here. So let's go to the edge mode, select this edge and add a edge loop and slide it just to the side like that. And let's go to the vertex mode now and bring this vertex up and let's select all these vertices and make them planar in the Z direction, Y direction, and move them just a bit up. I think that's far better. I'm still tweaking my shape so that I get the basic structure of the car correctly. And accordingly, let's pull this vertex also out. Not too much, just a wee bit outside. And that looks better, I think. And let's go to the edge mode now. Select this edge, apply a ring selection, and let's connect it. Let's slide it even more to the side like that. And now switch over to the vertex mode, and now I can bring this vertex to this position, and let's move these vertices. Let's make them planar in the Y direction. Switch over to the world mode and bring them over to this position right over here, and just pack these vertices a little more closer. Like that. And I want all these vertices to be straight. And next up, what we can do is, you can see over here that this vertex is slightly dented. So let's switch over to the local mode, bring that vertex inside, and just make some tweakings till I am satisfied with the overall structure. And still I want to tweak these vertices till they match perfectly. Let's bring this vertex just a bit inside and do the same for this vertex. This vertex must go over here, and this vertex right over here. Same for this vertex, we want it placed over there, and this vertex somewhere over here. I think that shape is better now, except for this vertex. Let's bring it down just a bit, and let's move this vertex up. This vertex, let's switch over to the world mode now, and let's bring this vertex down. And I think we have got the structure over here almost correctly. So that seems better. Now uh, I think we can stop the lesson over here and continue modeling the rest of the parts in the next lesson.